the home team for tonight's game. Your home squad is the Atlanta Smoke. And let's welcome out number 2, playing second base, Janae Jefferson. Number 21, playing first base, Silent Rain Espinosa. Let's welcome out number 17, catcher, Jada Cody. Playing third base, number 4, Charlotte Echols. Playing right field, number 47, Morgan Howe. Playing left field, number 77, Jasmine Hill. Your DP for the game, number 51, Maddie Grimm. Playing shortstop, number 32, McKenna Dowell. Let's welcome out center fielder, number 3, Coco Woolley. And welcome out your starting pitcher, number 23, Donnie Gobern. And let's welcome out the rest of the Atlanta Smoke, Anna Maria Bruni, Autumn Keys, Billy Kerwood, Taylor Kraft, Elizabeth Mason, and Michaela Timmons. Right now, we'd ask that you please stand. Okay, I got you. See, they put it in my tip cup, you guys did it, but let's welcome out the Orlando Monarchs. Right fielder, number 3, Alex Coleman. Third baseman, number 24, Tessa Malaulao. Number 37, your DP, Morgan Smith. Playing first base, number 31, Matt Barbara. Let's welcome out your left fielder, number 14, Chloe Malaulu. Your catcher, number 19, Alyssa Garcia. Let's welcome out second baseman, number 33, Kat Rodriguez. Your center fielder, number 44, Stormy Kotzelnik. Let's welcome out your shortstop, number 23, Kylie Sand. Let's welcome out the starting pitcher for the Monarchs, number 28, Aspen Wesley. And let's welcome out the rest of the Orlando Monarchs, Ali Skaggs, Julia Kutstoyanopoulos, Jaden Vickers, Devin Flaherty, Kaden Felton, and Sonia Haradigan. And we ask that you remain standing now, both teams remain standing, and everybody in attendance please rise for the national anthem. We'll play the American national anthem first, followed by the Bahamian national anthem. two of this three-game series. And don't forget, immediately following the game tonight, we will have a full fireworks exhibition. So you definitely want to stick around for that. You don't want to miss out on that, but definitely it is the Queens of Paradise Game 2 of this three-game series between the Orlando Monarchs and the Atlanta Smoke. The Orlando Monarchs took game 1 last night, 4-3, in an exciting contest. We look forward to having another great game tonight, but we are ready to go. We're ready to play ball. Game 2 in this exciting series is getting ready to kick off right now.
first. So we head to the bottom of the first. Smith on the mound for the Monarchs. Janae Jefferson leading off for the Smoke.
We were commenting just before the game started. We saw Morgan for a bit in the outfield last night. Tonight she's on the mound trying to deliver for her team.
A few changes for the Monarchs defensively from game one. You have Mac Barber on first. Other than that, pretty much the same lineup for the most part we saw in game one. The Smoke have made more changes defensively. We'll get to those in the top half of the second. Jefferson out of Texas, three-time All-American, slash 438 in her rookie season in the WPF.
Struggled a bit last night. Hopefully tonight is a bit different for her.
That one's in the turf. Jefferson gets ahead in the count. And Smith misses high. 3-1 count here for Jefferson.
For me, I just think it's so important tonight for the Smoke to actually try to get out in these early innings to put a couple of runs together just to avoid what happened last night. Playing from behind last night, you could see it was a bit tough for them.
And that's really what it came down to, having to try to rally in the sixth, having to rally in the seventh because they fell behind. What a play in shortstop.
If it's been one standout so far for the first couple of nights, it has to be San at shortstop.
The Monarchs have had a few, but Kylie San with the diving snag, that would be a short base hit against 9 out of 10 shortstops. She just happened to be the 10th.
I'm talking about perfect timing. As soon as it left the bat, she sprung right into action and made a tremendous play. And again, we see the defense of the Monarchs really being the standout here.
Absolutely no room for error on that one. Full extension. Her sunglasses even fell off.
Yeah.
That's how you know it was full effort. So great defensive start for the Monarchs here. Up at the plate for the Smoke, Silent Rain Espinoza. 2 for 3 in game one. Had a double, had an infield single.
She was one of the standouts for the Smoke last night. One of the only productive players and a really tough night early on for them. But again, she was one of the persons that participated in that late rally. hopefully she could get them off to a good start tonight.
And it was so good they moved her up to second in the lineup. So let's see what she produces here. And again, gets another base hit.
So if anybody's enjoying the local weather, she is clearly Silent Ray.
I don't know where you think that these people play, but they play in Atlanta and Orlando.
What's the current temperature in Atlanta?
The Bahamas is not drastically different. I
it's
think
about
they're fine.
92 degrees to 87 right?
It's 5-degree difference.
That 5-degree difference means a lot. What's the humidity? A lot to a little bit. There we go. A lot to a little bit.
All right, well, we'll have to ask post-game how the humidity affects their ability to hit a softball, but it has not affected Espinoza so far. She gets another base hit.
And hopefully she can put that speed to use. We saw that in the 2 late inning comeback attempts. She's able to get on base and actually try to get around.
Jada Cody at the plate now for the Smoke. Smith delivers. Swing and a miss. Evens the count, 1-1. So most of the Central Florida products play for the Monarchs. Cody is one that plays over for the Smoke. Smith misses high on the off speed.
I think Espinoza is trying to test her. She tried to get a little slight lead off just now, but was looked back onto the bag
Garcia
just
looks
now.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Smith on the delivery.
So, do we have a play?
Just out of reach of a trio of defenders. Barber was there, so was Rodriguez, so was Coleman from all the way in right field, but neither one was able to come up with it, and
we saw him make a tremendous catch last night in the 5th, doing that exact same thing, ranging all the way over to get down and make that play.
So Cody survives for another swing in this at-bat. Ooh. Lines one to right field. That is down, out of the reach of Coleman. Here comes Espinoza into third. It's a double for Cody. Espinoza around to third. Great job by Coleman hitting the cutoff.
I think the best play we saw just now is the recovery time by Blue. A little slight slip up, but he's back on his feet.
Incredible athleticism from Blue. Yeah. Completely wiped out, but was back in there for the play. If there was going to be a play at the plate, he was going to be ready and in position.
Much credit to him.
There are athletes out there too. But you saw Espinoza with a full head of steam rounding third. She was ready to take that chance, but because Coleman recovered so quickly and got that throw in, limited any chance that she had of even trying to force a throw and making that a play at the plate.
But I think we have to keep giving credit to the speed of Espinoza. That was the thing that put pressure on the 2 innings that they had any kind of activity last night. We see it again early on tonight. That speed of her getting around the bases. She's now in scoring position.
And now Carla Eccles, you saw her had recording 2 outs defensively in the first inning. Now with an opportunity to drive in an RBI for the Smoke.
I don't know if that pitch just now just lost a bit of momentum coming out the glove, but it just didn't make it all the way to the plate.
Smith misses high again.
Again, it just seemed that the speed is not there on her delivery. I'm not sure if Eccles is able to kind of use that to her advantage and drive one out and score a couple of runs early on here for the Smoke.
Eccles, the 2024 Offensive Player of the Year. So if it's someone you want in this spot with an opportunity to drive or run in, this is the one you want at the plate. Smith is in there for a strike.
Really good pitch location just now for Smith. Trying to get out a bit of a tough spot early on here. Something we didn't see much by the Monarchs last night. They basically controlled the game from start to finish.
And you saw Eccles shaking her head as she walked out of the box. She knew she missed her spot on that one.
She thought she had one just now.
Full count, but like you mentioned, so key for the Smoke to get ahead in this game. They had an opportunity late in the 5th inning as they were trailing, had the bases loaded, no outs, but was only able to muster 1 run. And what a pitch by Smith to retire Eccles. Gets her first strikeout of the game and a huge one in this situation for the Monarchs.
And you can see just how important it was for the Monarchs just now as everybody coming over just to congratulate Smith on that tremendous strikeout. They understand how tough a spot she was in just now, and she found a way to work out of it with 3 tremendous pitches in that at-bat.
So Morgan Howe now with an opportunity. Smith in there for the strike.
So initially I thought it was just her losing momentum on her pitches, but it seems to be a kind of cadence of hers to have that just slow down right before it passes our home plate. So
Howe, 2023 WPF Offensive Player of the Year, Arizona State product. Fouls one off, 1-1 the count.
again, you see Smith just able to throw these batters just off slightly. Just can't seem to get the timing of that pitch coming across.
The strikeout of Eccles was so huge, getting the second out for the Monarchs here. Smith looking to get out of this one unscathed after giving up 2 base hits.
Ooh. Looks to be just slightly off her body for another foul ball. But again, Howe was one of my favorite stands from last night. I think that's something we spent a lot of time on last night, just talking about the different stances that we see.
You just think the stance is cool.
Yes,
That's
yes. I had doubts last night where she could get the power.
Sometimes the game can be that simple.
She was able to deliver a few key hits last night as well. Oh, there we go again with that timing. You see the bat. You see the batter just have to hold up slightly to figure out if she's on time with it. And that's been an Achilles heel tonight for the Smoke.
After missing low twice, she goes high. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Goes back down low. Howe fouls another one off. So this lengthy at bat continues.
Not to add extra pressure on the Smoke, but I just think they need this run right now. Remembering what happened last night, to battle all the way back and forth short, I think they know that they need to get out to an early start. This is a key opportunity with 2 runners in scoring position.
I don't think what you said added any pressure to them. They can't even hear you.
Go,
but Howe comes up with a huge base hit and drives in the game's first run, heads up base running, and she advances to second.
Tremendous play there by Morgan Howe. The ability to just stay aware in the moment and advance when everybody was distracted by what was going on at home plate.
Like we mentioned, that's a former league offensive player of the year, so you expect that kind of production, and she came through clutch to score Espinoza, who got this inning started with the base hit for the Smoke. And now Jasmine Hill in position to do the same thing for Atlanta, trying to add to this lead with 2 outs. Backhand by Sand, gets it over to first.
Bit of a tight call.
Edge goes to the defense. So the Smoke get 1 on the board as we head to the top of the second. 1-0 Atlanta. So leading off the top of the second inning for the Monarchs, it's Barber. So we mentioned some defensive changes for the Smoke from game one. You have Woolley, who was in short in game one, now moves over to center field, and Dowell comes in at short.
Come here, boy. Look by the camera. Yeah.
Hill and Howe at the corners in the outfield.
I know we spent a lot of time last night just talking about the talent all across the field. I think the phrase you use is,
I can't believe you went with that and didn't remember the phrase that I used.
I was hoping that you pick it up.
How could you recall the phrase that I used without actually knowing it?
Another phrase.
So Coburn, 1-1, the count in there for a strike on our first pitch, but misses high.
No, it just speaks to the talent that we see all throughout this league, and that's the reason we see women's fast pitch take off the way we've seen it in the last couple of years, picking up what we saw in the college ranks and moving it up to, I guess you could say, a major league program now.
And that's why an event like this is so important, bringing this level of talent here to the Bahamas. This partnership between Don't Blink Entertainment and Be For Real Entertainment, bringing women's fast pitch here to the Bahamas, giving our home crowd an opportunity to see the game played at such a high level.
And such at a critical time in the game. Recently we saw reports of MLB partnering with other fast pitch leagues to try and, expand the game a bit.
And Barbara gets in there for the base hit to lead off the second.
She's a pro.
Yeah, you're talking about the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, which has MLB backing.
Yes.
So you now see, in the same vein where the NBA did the same thing with the WNBA in their infancy, MLB is doing the same thing now with Athletes Unlimited. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. Their season begins this summer.
Being introduced to these teams in the last couple of days, I just want to take the time to compliment both teams on their uniforms. I think Atlanta, in honor of their name, has brought the Smoke 2 nights in a row now. They had on their Atlanta red last night, the pride of the city. Now then, I'm going to label this uniform the Smoke Screen. Is that a good one?
It's not a good one,
No?
but as a broadcast partner, I will be here to support all of your poor decisions.
I appreciate that. I think if Blue was on commentary, he would support.
It's not a good one at all.
The blooper there, just out of the reach of the first baseman. I mean, I don't know. It feels like that old school Chicago White Sox pinstripe.
It does.
A bit different, a lot wider than the normal Yankees pinstripe, so it has a good look.
It does have a good look. Very, I will say the WPF has done a great job with the uniforms and their branding.
Doesn't the Hawks have a similar black jersey like that? The Atlanta Hawks.
Trying to turn two.
Just out here.
And Mala'ulu is safe at first, but Barbara out at second.
I thought they had enough to turn that double play just now. I don't know if it was just on the flip from the second baseman over to the shortstop to get it over the first. I don't know if there was a slight delay there.
We'll also give credit to Mala'olu hustling down the line, getting there, really making that play difficult defensively for the Smoke.
And again, reflecting on the uniforms.
Again, reflecting on the uniforms.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the Atlanta Monarchs, they have that classic old Florida Marlins.
Did not expect you to keep going to this well, but here we are.
It looks like the classic Florida Marlins before they went just to the Miami Marlins. I'm seeing a lot of Dontre Willis out there. No?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely correct.
Okay. I just feel like if Blue was on commentary to me, he would be in full agreement.
Why do you think y'all are kindred spirits?
I just think we got off to a rough start last night. Question some of his calls, but He's spot on tonight.
Alyssa Garcia at the plate now for the Monarchs. Runner on first, one away, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Ooh. Just got her right down the shoulder.
Gets hit by a pitch, so now the Monarchs are in business. 2 base runners, and just 1 away.
If I would have to make one slight adjustment to the uniform,
What would that be?
It would be more of the Miami pink or the Florida pink just on the outline of the M on the Monarchs emblem.
I feel like you should have this conversation with the Orlando Monarchs and perhaps pass along your suggestions.
It's just the particular Miami Vice flair, that nice, Miami pink and that Miami blue. It's shining through. Really good uniforms for both teams.
Right now, Kat Rodriguez at the plate got the start tonight at second. Came in late in game 1 as a pinch hitter, starting tonight, her first at bat.
And on night 2 of this triple header, we see a really good outing. I know the ladies were out earlier today running some clinics for local youth here in Nassau. So it's good to see them high energy tonight. No hockey sock free game, but
There was.
I missed.
There was.
I
You
missed
missed,
hockey
you, missed,
sock.
you missed the hockey sock. It seems to be a staple of the Orlando Monarchs. Definitely will not miss an opportunity to hockey sock pregame.
Okay.
It's a very important part of their routine. Rodriguez tries to lay down the bunt, but goes foul. But you mentioned the camp earlier today, and community outreach, a big part of this weekend, a big part of this series, because representation matters. And there are a lot of young women looking at this, wondering, where do I go after my years of playing high school softball, after playing collegiate softball? Are there opportunities for me like there are opportunities for men? And now you see more of them starting to pop up, like we mentioned with the AUSL and obviously here with the WPF.
Right. I think the thing that we kind of missed mentioning last night is how important the game of softball is to our local community. A lot of our kids come up play in that game, even our young boys. They come up play in that game and then transition over to baseball. So it's a big cultural experience here in the Bahamas.
And up at the plate now, Stormy Kozelnik.
Did really well with that name. I didn't expect you to hit it.
I was working at it.
There we go. Practice makes perfect. See a little quick check-in with the umpire here tonight. I think we have a pinch runner.
So the last out, which was Rodriguez, coming in as a courtesy runner for Garcia. And we talked a bit about the community outreach has been so important and a part of the staple for Don't Blink, as they've been hosting the greatest show on sand for the last few years. And it's great to see that initiative being taken up by the women as well, as we work an event for our young women here in the Bahamas that, have been underserved by a lot of our sports tourism events, I would say.
Right. And all the credit in the world to the Don't Blink team, because you mentioned before the Home Run Derby, and to have an event like this, we have such a tremendous facility here at the tremendous play down at first base to close out the inning.
Lines out to Espinoza. Atlanta escapes another inning unscathed. We go to the bottom of the second. So as we get started here in the bottom of the second, we want to take time to mention our sponsors that made this event possible. Of course, bringing high-level softball here to the Bahamas. Matty Grimm now at the plate for the Smoke. We mentioned Don't Blink Entertainment and Be For Real Entertainment, but of course the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the National Sports Authority, Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, the Players Alliance, the IL Cares Foundation, Duncan, Global Sun Integration Management, Heritage Seafood Limited, Alive Business, Gatorade, Cuba Libre, Happy Healing Home Care, Ticket Flare, Equity Bank Bahamas Limited, and Jimmy's Wines and Spirits.
Tremendous list of sponsors. Tremendous.
And the enthusiasm that you said, that really underscores how tremendous the list of sponsors
I just have one concern. I'm still not a fan of Duncan dropping the donuts end of the Duncan. It doesn't sit well with me. Oh, we probably have to look into that.
Why is it so upsetting to you?
I mean, it's critically important to their business.
They didn't stop selling the donuts. They wanted you to know that they're more than donuts. It's actually a part of the new slogan.
I just think donuts are such critically important part
Yes,
of.
but you also pigeonhole yourself when you only mention donuts. They want the consumers to think more, so it's just Dunkin'.
I respect that. Good coffee.
I had a good sandwich from there the other day. 3-1 the count.
If you have a chance, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't close until 7. If you want to check them out, pick up a couple of donuts.
Why do you know? Okay. Hitters count here for Grimm. Smith gets her swinging, and when her location has been pinpoint when she goes low, and that ball just drops right ahead of the plate.
It's just been perfect timing for most of the evening. The ability to have it leave her glove with so much speed and just fall off ever so slightly before crossing the plate.
And gets Grimm looking.
Tremendous location on that pitch.
Strikeout number 2 for Smith. Starts the inning with a K.
She's wheeling and dealing tonight, making it look a bit easy here in the first 2.
The cliche master goes to his bag, wheeling and dealing.
Definitely. We're going to get to the tricks later on.
McKenna Dowell now at the plate for the Smoke.
Try to, master my game after the great boy Clyde Frazier.
You gotta be ready to go 7 innings. So you can't use all of your cliches right now in the first 2.
Or I could just use them and then keep repeating them most of the night.
You can't do that, which is what you were doing with the uniforms and the Duncan thing. But
it's really good uniforms.
No one's arguing that they're not good uniforms.
I just like how much they've relied on the cities that they represent in the other sports team. Is good for new leagues to pay homage because you make that connection for a lot of local fans.
Smith delivers, 1-1 the count. Dowell gets a bat in it, a slow roller over the sand.
She had no problem with that. Oh, she just exude confidence there in a shortstop position. Nothing ever seems to get her off kilter. She's always ready to go. Bustle the dance move a little bit just now.
And traditionally, that's what you want out of your shortstop, right?
Definitely.
You want that person there to be the leader. You want them to make the plays. You want that to be the surest glove. That's kind of like what a safety or a middle linebacker does on defense in football. Same role for the shortstop. Coco Woolley now at the plate for the Smoke.
Still the best walk-up in the business.
I mean, her name's in the song. It writes itself.
Ooh, nice bunt put down.
Lays down a bunt, and she is fast.
Able
Coco
to
Woolley gets
leg
in
it out.
there. Races down the line. I would love to see what her time is from home to first.
Fast.
Yes.
That was her time. Fast.
Exploding out of the box, and now Jefferson back to the top of the lineup for the Smoke.
Shout out young Jeezy. Again, just tied it back to the home city.
I'm saying the Smoke now going full Atlanta. Ball 1, and Garcia wants to talk it over with Smith.
I think it was just a bit miscommunication on that pitch there. I think she called for something and didn't see it. I wanted to know what would be the way forward going from here. They came to some agreement just now, so.
Fun fact, sometimes they discuss nothing. Sometimes you just need to give your pitcher a breather.
You know
Sometimes you want to give the perception that we have something to discuss.
You know who was pretty good at that? Pudge Rodriguez.
Smith's delivery is low for ball 2. Great plate discipline by Jefferson. That's the pitch that has gotten a lot of these Atlanta players to swing on, particularly with 2 strikes.
But as we saw there just now, we saw the catcher actually try to slow play the ball back there to give us some time. Again.
Ground ball goes to Sand, and that will be the end of the inning. To the top of the 3rd, Atlanta still clinging to this 1-0 lead.
As we head to the top of the 3rd, it is still 1-0 the Atlanta Smoke lead on Orlando Monarchs. Be sure to check out all of the concessions going on for you right now, all right? Definitely get your Kong salad, definitely get your eats on for cravings, as you have this porky Kong salad. And don't forget, you got the duck out bar going on, you got soft drinks as well as your adult beverages available for you. So be sure to, grab your concessions. And don't forget,
Top of the 3rd, leading off for the Monarchs, Kylie Sand. We've called her name a lot because she's made so many big plays. 2 base hits in game 1, and we've already seen her flash the glove defensively here early in game 2.
On 2 plays in the hole.
And Eccles again, mirroring what she did in the 1st inning, snagging a line drive out of midair.
I think they're going tit for tat right now. I've seen you do it once tonight. I can get in my bag too and do the same thing. Very, very
Defensively,
tremendous.
the way these teams are playing, it seems like the kind of game where 1 run could actually win. 1 run was the difference, 4-3 for the Monarchs. Able to stave off a late rally from Atlanta. So back to the top of the lineup for Orlando. Coleman leading off. 0 for 1 on the night. Guess I went to shortstop. What a play by Dowell, but just a hair late.
It was a really impressive play. I didn't expect her to be able to, make the rotation and get it over to first, but she somehow stayed balanced, able to square up and make a really, really good throw.
The composure to pinpoint that ball and the speed of Coleman. Most runners probably would have been out on that one, but Coleman displaying that speed, able to beat the throw out, but still a tremendous effort by Dowell in short.
She was able to even time that catch would have taken a bit of a hop off the mound as well. So
Tesmalaolu rips one into right field. Howe comes up throwing. Coleman thought about it, did not challenge, trying to stretch it to third, so runners on first and second. Back-to-back hits for the Monarchs. One out. And now Smith up at the plate trying to provide her own run support. Help her cause. Runners at first and second, one out. In there for the first strike is Goburn, looking to get herself out of a jam. Opportunity here for the Monarchs to even this one up.
I think the momentum is starting to pick up for the Monarchs right now. They're just able to get to this pitching staff of the Smoke right now. I don't know if it's just timing or what, but we may see a breakout inning right now for the Monarchs.
All of that can shift rather quickly if Goburn is able to get a strike, the third strike here on Smith. All of a sudden, the momentum shifts right back in their favor because that would be two out. We saw the Smoke was in pretty much this exact same position. Smith recorded the strikeout, got herself out of a jam. Let's see what Goburn does here on the opposite side. Get Smith to pop up. That one is out. Espinoza thought she had a play on it, just out of the field of play.
It's a bit of a delay to get that ball out of the field of play just now. The velocity is still there for her, but she's just struggling a bit with location. We're seeing a couple of pitches go high and a couple of go off to the left. I think if she's able to settle down and actually get placement back on the ball, she may just be able to work her way out of this inning.
Check swing, and Espinoza almost makes an ESPN-worthy highlight.
She went all out for that. All the way out.
Nearly ended up in the dugout.
Don't tell them that this don't matter. This is a tremendous effort just now.
Not a single person that told them that. Nobody told them that. This doesn't matter. One ball, two strikes, one out. Yeah. Smith up the middle, and Dowell flips it. Safe at first, but I'll tell you, McKenna Dowell is making some plays.
She's flashing
in
the level.
short.
Didn't even take time to try, put a second grip on the ball immediately just with the flip. Right out of the glove over to the second baseman.
The glove flip, outstanding to get the runner at second.
I tell you what, just watching her stand there, you may doubt a bit of the speed that she's able to give off, but she was able to recover really, really quickly on two plays here tonight.
Incredible range of motion. You can tell just based on the last two plays we've seen her make. So now a huge at-bat here, Goburn versus Barbara. Barbara singled in her first at-bat. Now a chance to drive in this run and even the game. Coleman on third. Evens the count, 1-1, 2 away. You can feel the tension of this matchup. Goburn goes high, falls behind in the count.
Talk about the tension in this matchup. Power on power right now. We have runners at the corners. And Barbara is sitting in there just ready to make a play. Could this be the moment? We've not seen a home run so far.
I knew what you were trying to do. You were trying to announce or jinx the home run.
I was hoping for it.
Yeah. Good call. Good call. Even again at 2-2 after Barbara fouls one off. gets her swing for strike 3. Goburn gets out of the jam thanks to some key plays from Dowell at short. We head to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 Smoke.
Bottom of the second, it remains the Atlanta Smoke 1, the Orlando Monarch nothing, and then the bottom of the third. Don't forget fireworks immediately following tonight's game. Full firework display right out here as we wrap up game 2. Don't forget the final game of the series tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here at the Underground Stadium.
So we head to the bottom of the third. Espinoza leading off for the Smoke. Monarchs feeling good about themselves. You can see with a show of support for Smith. Ready to deliver, has been in command of the game thus far. I mean, Smith with delivery. Misses high for ball 1. Falls behind 2 balls. No strikes. Espinoza looking to continue her productivity at the plate. Already a base hit on the night in her first appearance. And now well ahead in the count.
Smith is starting to slow down a bit.
In there for the strike.
I think Espinosa thought she had a walk just now.
That's the kind of showmanship you have to have whether you thought it was a ball or not. You do it anyway. And in there for another strike.
It was no doubt about that one. It was.
It's amazing how quickly things change when a pitcher bears down with 3 balls, no strikes. Barber down and easy ground out. 1 away. You mentioned earlier how big of a deal local softball is here for the women of the Bahamas, and we saw before game 1 honoring one of our legends, Jennifer Isaacs. And the Bahamas, of note, was ranked number 5 in the world at one point in the mid-70s. In 1974, they finished 3rd in what was then called the International Softball Federation in the Women's World Championship. To this day, still the highest achievement by any softball team in the country's history.
Yeah, feet local team is still trying to work their way back to. But I think with tournaments like this and displays like this is it's clear to a lot of our young people that, that kind of goal is in reach yet again. Being able to see talented players like this and learn from them and develop around them. So hopefully it's something our kids pick up on.
And think about it, in '74, the Bahamas was just over a year old at that point, and you finished third behind the United States and behind Japan.
Right.
What happened?
A lot.
Not enough time for us to talk about it on this broadcast.
I think we can get into it, but a lot happened.
Can we?
Yeah, I think going back to those days.
Do we want to?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
We do.
go ahead.
Yeah, but going back to those days, you had the stories of a lot of our senior people in the community where softball was sort of like the thing that brought their smaller communities together. You have places like Elucera where they had like a team in every settlement, and that has sort of changed now with the redistribution of our population the last couple of decades. We just didn't see the same impact made on the game. The systems, the processes just weren't there to develop those same level of talents throughout our community.
So to put it succinctly, as Michael Irvin would say, we losing recipes.
Definitely.
Jada Cody flies out to right. Coleman gets underneath it. 2 away for the Monarchs.
Did you see Michael Irvin at Carnival recently?
Yes, I did.
He's definitely not losing recipes. I think he pick up 1 or 2 there. Shout out to Michael Irvin.
Shout out to the playmaker. And when you work that hard your entire life to enjoy the spoils, go ahead and enjoy them.
Both ordered off the field. 88 never slowed down.
Carla Eccles now. Tremendous day defensively. Now looking for the bat to catch up for what she's done in the field.
As the second she stepped up to the plate, my attention immediately turned to San, because I think they have a bit of a rivalry going on right now. Again, each of them making tremendous plays on each other.
Who's gonna make the better defensive
I think
play?
San is ready to go. It is a key moment for her. Look at the intensity. Just watch it at shortstop. She's ready to go. You can tell she's the leader in this infield as well, though.
She's wearing 23. I think our generation has been taught that just by wearing 23 alone, it speaks to your, not even your ability, but your desire to want to be a leader. Whether it's for Jordan or for LeBron, doesn't matter. For whatever reason you wear 23, you want to be a leader.
Slightly off on that one. My go-to is 12.
Okay. And another ground out to Barber, and that's 1, 2, 3 in the inning. Head to the top of the 4. Atlanta still clinging. 1-0 lead. To the top of the 4th we go. Goburn still going strong for the Smoke. Goes high for ball 1. And Malualu goes deep, but Howe is there just at the foul line. Gets underneath it. One down. Alyssa Garcia now at the plate for the Monarchs, and this is just one of those games where hits are hard to come by.
Really good pitching so far.
And the fielding is going to be so important down the stretch. And I feel like the velocity Goburn has gone with for much of the game is setting up just for that moment. Garcia way out in front, trying to contend with the off speed. Now she goes back to the fastball. They're going to call it she held up, so 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Ooh, Coburn back to the fastball and in there for a strike.
I don't know. It seemed like she put a bit of extra on that one.
Got to think Garcia is not going to take another one of those straight down the heart of the plate. Well, she didn't take it, but she also couldn't catch up to it, so Goburn gets the strikeout.
Thought Garcia was just trying to sit back to see if she could find something to drive out, but just wasn't there.
She was searching. It was there, but, you know, that's pretty difficult to catch up with.
But I have to give credit to tonight's pitcher because compared to, I'm not saying that Pease had a bad performance last night, it just seems that she has a bit more command of.
She's definitely a different type of pitcher.
Yeah.
Definitely what you would consider a power pitcher.
And I think she's really, you know, eyeing down a lot of the top hitters over at the Monarchs. We saw against Garcia just now. Garcia flashed a bit of power last night. And she just said, I'm going to get it right by you. Ooh.
That one in the turf.
Bit off of blue as well. But again, top tier performance.
He's an athlete back there. Proud of my boy after taking that earlier spill. Cat Rodriguez. Second base. Even now at 2-2. Goburn in there for another strike. Second strikeout of the inning and retires the side. So Goburn looking to get stronger as this game moves along. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Smoke lead 1-0. So Smith goes 3 innings, and now in comes Aspen Wesley for the Monarchs. First batter to face Wesley will be Morgan Howe. Has the game's only RBI in the first inning, and we're still deadlocked at that 1-0 score.
She's also caught a couple of flyouts tonight as well, so active on both sides of the ball. We see Sandra there again barking commands as she's done most of the night.
So Wesley's first pitch is outside for ball 1.
I think we've touched on it for a bit for the last 2 nights, just talking about the pipelines of both of these teams. We have San, I think she's from Rutgers as well. We saw Vickers from Rutgers, and they have a couple other players.
From Rutgers, but finished at Kentucky. Let's always make it very apparent.
Is it going to always come back to Kentucky for you?
For me? Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't it for you?
No.
You have a lot of problems in your life. That's chief among them.
Well, no, just talking about that pipeline to some of these teams, you touched on it earlier. Central Florida has a big presence here on this Monarch.
And that one is a deep drive.
It's
Just foul. And you said it earlier. We have yet to have a home run.
I thought it was it just now.
And Morgan Howe was about to end that streak. That one just went foul.
I think she spent so much time with her the last few nights. She's confident in how to play the lights. I think she was trying to get it just in the corner there.
But you could tell from the body language when she turned, she knew she had no shot at that, and it was going to be either foul or another run on the board for the Smoke. Wesley definitely wasn't going to go back to that spot on the next pitch. So the count even now at 2-2.
But again, I'm still so impressed by Howe's stance. I questioned 2 nights in a row, where does the power come from? And we saw it on display there.
I think it's okay if you stop questioning it now.
I can't, because it's a bit of a mystery to me. Again.
Maybe
there it is.
Maybe don't question the power now.
There it is.
Morgan Howe goes deep for the first home run of this series and the second run of the game for the Smoke. We talked about her being a former Offensive Player of the Year. She was ripping a few in pregame warm-ups. I turned to the team, our production team, and I said, I got a good feeling about the Smoke tonight with the power display they had pregame.
I think Morgan relied completely on the team's branding there. She wants all of the smoke, whether it's on defense, whether it's on offense. Get it out of the park tonight for the first home run of the series, as you mentioned.
Do you have a specific time where you know you just want to hit the cliche no matter what? Like,
it's my favorite button.
I know, but it seems as if you make up your mind you're going to go to the cliche no matter what. No matter what happens, you are going to formulate a way to work it in there.
It's my style.
It is your style.
It's my style.
It is your style. That's why you get paid the mediocre bucks.
I'm just saying. If Mark Jackson survived his whole career on Mama, there goes that man. I could have a bag of tricks. I had to throw it in there. I don't know what else I can get to tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the setup.
So Morgan Howe gives the Smoke a 2-0 lead.
We're seeing something different that we didn't see last night. It's the Smoke getting out to that early lead. The question is, can the Monarchs, respond? Can they, put a couple of runs on the board later on tonight? We'll have to see.
And as a coaching staff, is it a gut punch to know that you make a pitching change in a 1-0 game and the first batter that your second pitcher faces takes their yard?
I think you have confidence in the pitcher, but it does raise some doubts for the pitcher.
It has to.
For the pitcher in particular, because now she's questioning, hey, where do I go from here to be, give up on your second pitch, home run of that magnitude? It's a lot. So we'll see how she recovers.
Now facing Jasmine Hill. Hill ahead and count 3-1. And walked. Maddie Grimm next at the plate for the Smoke. So right now, if you're Wesley, you just need an easy out just to
Regain composure.
just to regain composure, just to get the feeling of struggle out of there. Grim
Return to
grounds out. They're not going to be able to turn two, but they do get the lead runner, get Hill at second.
I thought they had enough to turn two, but San just decided, nah, going to take this second and just call it a wraps right there.
So maybe that's the out that she needs to regain that composure and to settle in.
I see. We have Dowell up at bat now.
Has the same stats as Howe. And she is hit on the elbow.
So that is not the momentum boost we thought she would have gotten from that out. So immediately turns around, put another run on base.
So runners on first and second. Coco Woolley will not step into the box until she hears her. And there you go. On cue, we got the OT Genesis.
She demanded that just now. She waited it out when she heard it. She was like, all right, now it's time to go.
Wouldn't you?
I would if I had such an essential walk-up.
Well, I think you can't underscore how important that is to confidence when you have to step into the box.
Runners on first and second. Looking to break this one open now.
Another big scoring opportunity here for the Smoke if Woolley can come through with a base hit. In there for a first pitch strike.
We could see right away Atlanta wants to keep the pressure on. Runners are ready to go at first contact. Ooh. Woolley just reached around there. Thought it was a bit unnecessary, but she thought she saw something. Just unable to make contact.
So 0-2. Just outside, 1-2 the count, one away. Runners on first and second for the Smoke.
Ooh.
Slaps that one into a dangerous spot in center field.
Able to get it down.
And that will bring home a run. So Woolley's RBI will score Grimm. One of those bloop singles, it was just different for Kutselnik to get to in time. RBI single for Coco Woolley.
So we see the Smoke just now early on in the fourth and just match their run total from last night.
And now back to the top of the lineup. Jefferson still in the same position. Runners on first and second. Wesley misses on the first two. So Jefferson ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Still one out here for the Smoke. Working on widening this margin. 3-0 lead right now. Working on making it 4 here in the bottom of the fourth.
This is the third or fourth go-around of the lineup, right?
Yeah, this is Jefferson's third at bat. First time facing Wesley. She misses again, so again falling behind early in the count.
She's not been able to get a timing together. I don't know if the catcher wants to step in and have another word with her.
How much of that do you think we credit to Howe? Because stepping into the game in your first batter you face.
It does shift momentum, and we see it on display here again, walking another runner.
And you wondered when the Monarchs would make that visit to have a conversation. And now they do, because bases are loaded and it's one out here for the Monarchs. When we get back to it, it will be Espinoza at the plate. And you know how productive she's been so far in this series.
What do you think the conversation is like right now? As you've mentioned, she's had a tough go around since coming in relief and just not been able to put it together.
I think as a coach, you have to get an assessment of her confidence level right now. You can see she told the infield, I don't want you in this conversation. I want to just talk to my pitcher and my catcher. I need to know where her head is at. I need to know how confident she feels, because the rest of the team is going to feed off of her production, and this is a huge moment right here in this game. Could be a make or break moment. Bases loaded for Espinoza.
She's been really good at making contact tonight. Let's see if she's able to do it in this at-bat. Bases loaded, you just need to put a ball in play.
It's so important for Wesley to get that first pitch strike, because she's fallen behind in the count the last few hitters she's faced. Gets ahead on this one.
Just off, just slightly off to the right.
Evens the count here at 1-1.
But you spoke about that strike just now. I'm trying to figure out if that strike was a bit easier for her to throw after coming out of that conversation with a catcher and a manager. Just giving her maybe a script to work with just now on that first pitch, and now we have to see how she continues on after the conversation.
Or it could just be the lefties. And another one of those lefties comes through with a big hit. Espinoza. Woolley will score.
Oh, huge double.
Jefferson will hold up at third. Another RBI for this Smoke lineup. And Espinoza continues to be the leader at the plate, I would say, for this Smoke club. She's been the most consistently productive so far in this series.
And you have to at this point question if it's just a one-inning night for Wesley.
Yeah, coming in.
Because runs have been hard to come by so far this series.
We said early on it looked like one of these games where one run just might be the difference, because the pitching was so precise on both sides, and both defenses were making outstanding plays in the field, just protecting. And now you see it just breaking open here in the bottom of the fourth. 4 runs on the board for Atlanta in this inning alone. And as you mentioned, they only scored 3 the entire night last night.
Yeah.
And now runners on second and third. Cody at the plate. Pass ball, and Jefferson will score.
She's just really flustered right now. You can just tell confidence just isn't there. She's not delivering the way that she expected herself to tonight. It's just a tough outing right now.
Got to wonder how long Wiggins is going to go with Wesley. They need something to stop the bleeding at this point. So out of nowhere, the Smoke have erupted for 5 runs here in the bottom of the fourth.
And still another run at third, able to come in with just another ball in play.
Espinoza's at third, still 1 out. Espinoza is at third, Cody at the plate.
See the infield trying to move in as far as they could get just to offer up some support behind Wesley, but still a bit tough for her right now.
And Cody drives one. Coleman will be unable to get to it. That's another RBI. This one is going to be a triple, and she is in there. RBI triple for Cody off the wall in right field.
I don't want it to be lost in the moment of that triple just now by Cody, but a tremendous support from the left fielder to get down to third to prevent her from having an inside the park bat around just now. So, because the ball didn't get away from the third baseman and the left fielder was right there to recover. So
there's no way that's the highlight that you took away from that.
No, I'm just saying it was a tremendous.
Absolutely no way that was the
play.
highlight you took away from that.
Congratulations on the
RBI triple off the wall.
Yes, but sometimes those moments are key to ensure that a bad play doesn't become worse for a team.
It's a 7-0 lead.
Gotta find the little gems.
Okay. So Cody now at third. Eccles at the plate.
Eccles is at two hits taken away from other night, so you know she's looking to get on board. This is the hard inning for the team, so she wants to be a part of it. She able to put the ball down, we'll see. Again, we just trade runners, so there's another runner sitting there at third. Hopefully she can get in as well. Right there.
And sometimes they say hitting is contagious in this game, and that has definitely been the case here in the fourth inning for the Smoke.
You can tell just how bad it's going right now for the Monarchs because San has been tremendous the entire night. And routine play she was unable to just feel that
It
ball.
felt odd to see her not make a spectacular play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that was routine. She was
For her, it's been.
She was fully
For
outstretched.
her, it's been.
I think that's just a good base hit by Eccles.
Shout out to San. Yeah, but where do the Monarchs go from here?
This is you got to remember, the Smoke are a championship caliber team. I mean, no excuses. Night one, they were on the field, they were ready to play, but it was a very long travel day. They kind of walked right into playing game one. No excuses. They lost by 1 run. This looks like a championship caliber team.
But even again in that loss last night, we said it a couple of times. They were struggling, but in 2 key innings, they tried to make the comeback. It was right there. A game that came down literally to the last at bat.
If not for the spectacular play Coleman made in right field and she was able to double up the base runner, it could have been a completely different game.
Completely different series so far because we see what they are presenting here tonight. Just a strong offensive performance so far.
And now back at the plate is the woman that started this onslaught in the fourth with her solo home run, Morgan Howe. Eccles on first, still 1 away. In there for a strike, even this account, 1-1.
Just have to make a note of the both dugouts right now. You can see everyone is up and ready to go over here on the Smoke side, but over on the Monarch side, it's a bit quiet.
It's tough to watch. It's tough to go through as a player when it feels like Murphy's Law right now. Everything that can go wrong is absolutely going wrong.
And to have something get out of hand so quickly. See, you struggle as a team to find the right words to say to your pitcher in moments like this.
But not just that. It's all happening with 1 run. That's the thing.
Should he catch her back out to have a conversation with Wesley, trying to encourage her, seeing if she can find the right mix of words right now to put it together.
What are the right mix of words to put it together at this point?
Something like keep your head up. You just 1 pitch away. Any of those things can ring through to a pitcher to, try to get them just through this at bat.
Theoretically, I guess she would be 1 pitch away of how grounds into a double play, but ball out of play.
In moments like this for pitchers, is just it piles up so quickly.
It certainly has. It's 7 runs in the inning.
So what you need there is somebody to come in and just tell you, hey, but don't think about everything. Just focus on making this 1 pitch at a time. Get through 1 batter and just try and find a way out of this inning.
Now fouls another one off.
It is kind of tough to watch the struggle out there, though. You don't want to get it lost in the moments. Eccles is still on first. 1 out. Seeing the Smoke able to bat around this inning. Gee.
And Howe again, for the 2nd time in the inning. Deep to right field. 2 home runs this inning for Morgan Howe. This one a 2-run shot.
Did she just set out to say, hey, tonight is my night?
Evidently she did, because it's clearly her night, and it's now a 9-0 lead for the Smoke.
And there was no doubt about that one just now. At the second it left the bat, she could tell. We could tell.
To borrow from your cliches and from the team's theme, they wanted all the Smoke tonight, and the Monarchs are getting it.
Certainly Howe did.
2 home runs this inning for Morgan Howe, and the announcer jinx completely worked. You wondered when we would see our first home run of the series. Well, in this inning alone, you got 2 of them.
But again, last night she teased it a bit when I questioned the stance. She showed that she had the power. Tonight,
Please never question the stance again.
I'm not. I have to congratulate her on that after the game. I still don't know where it's coming from.
You can go do it now if you want to.
We have the time.
I'll hold this down. I got
She's
this.
busy. I don't want to get out of the groove right now. 2 home runs in the inning. At the rate we're going, it might be 3 soon.
So it looks as if the Monarchs are going to go back to Jaden Vickers. She appeared in relief in last night's game. Hard throwing lefty back out there tonight. Looking to just right the ship for this Monarchs team, who right now needs something to go right. Got a feel for Wesley. Tough outing. You come into the game with your team trailing by just 1 run and it's tough to imagine that she's had a worse inning at any other point in her career, because that was a tough onslaught from this Atlanta Smoke lineup.
You said earlier, her first go around with Howe, you just saw something there, and Howe was able to drive that out, and then the team just pick up on that same momentum and was able just to basically chase her off.
And so the Smoke looking to continue this run. Vickers now looking to right the ship for the Monarchs. Once we get going here, still 1 away in the bottom of the 4th.
We questioned all last night where the runs would come from, and now
runs in abundance.
Even though it's been a standout performance by how the team has been there in support of her, keeping the momentum, keeping the pressure on the Monarchs, pitching stuff.
Oh, absolutely. She accounted for 3 runs, but they still put up another 5 here in this inning. It's been everybody. 1 through 9 has been able to produce in this inning for the Smoke. Oh. And Vickers just blows downhill for her first strikeout in her first appearance.
I think she understood the assignment. She realized that the team needed her in this moment, and she stepped up on that last at bat. Have to give her credit. Tough spot to come in.
Yeah, throw strikes. Maddie Grimm now at the plate.
Ooh.
And you already see a complete difference in velocity, complete difference in location. She's kind of the power pitcher that Goburn is on the other side for the Smoke.
And we saw the same from her last night. She came in and had a couple of innings to hold off the Smoke. She closed out that game for them last night, so she's trying to stand in the gap again tonight. Different circumstances, but nonetheless, still a strong performance thus far. Ooh.
You had nothing for that one. All you could say was, ooh.
It's 2 strikes at this.
There was no cliche for that one.
2 strikes in this at bat, and then we saw with a major strikeout with during the last at bat. I want a bit low. Talk about taking command.
Grimm drives that one foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Direction I left the bat. I almost had to question whether I parked my car.
Just misses high, so now Grimm with a full count. And misses high, and she will walk. So Grimm battles back and is able to draw a walk to keep this inning going. McKenna Dowell steps into the box. The lefties have got it done in this lineup, in this inning for the Smoke.
And Howell is, she's flashed a really good bat tonight as well. So
Vickers in there, first pitch strike. That one's going to miss, evens the count.
just saying, if I was to catch you just now, I would try and frame that because
She did.
you would have to have some questions for Blue. Not saying it was a bad call, but say
The only time you would have a question for an umpire is if you are questioning whether it's a bad call.
this is a good time to have that question there.
Goes back to that same spot.
And it was
One-
the same exact location. Again, we have to have some questions for Blue.
Well, the other one was a bit outside. I got to give Blue the benefit of the doubt with that one.
I feel like you two get along a lot better than he and I does. Up is their play.
Sand is going to get under it. And Vickers does what Kentucky Wildcats do. Comes in, changes the complexion of the game, stops the bleeding.
How does
but
it always get back to
the
Kentucky?
damage has been done. Let me exit the inning. The damage has been done. The Smoke put up 8 runs and take a 9-0 lead to the top of the 5th. So how do the Monarchs respond to 9 runs put up by the Smoke in the 4th? 10-0 ball game. Stormy Kotzelnik at the plate for Orlando. Donnie Goburn still going strong for the Smoke. Velocity has not slowed down a bit here.
So strong. That's 2 good that got away from the catcher just now.
And they're going to talk it over pretty quickly.
Stormy able to make it on 4-ball walk just now.
So right out of the gate, they get their first base runner, Kylie Sand, at the plate. .396 career hitter at Rutgers. 2-time all-conference, all-region selection. left the Scarlet Knights with the record holder in runs scored with 59.
Just as active of those as those stats are on the offensive end. We've seen her flash lead on the defensive end for much of this series.
So Eccles thought about turning two, decides to get the Shore out at first. Kotzelnik will advance to second on the fielder's choice.
Trying to figure out if that was just a in-house DJ choice just now, because I'm pretty sure she's not familiar with that track.
They're all in-house DJ choices. So Coleman tries to lay down the bunt, but Cody behind the plate was on her feet quickly. And that's what you want to see out of a catcher. You want an athlete back there.
Making it 2023. Houston Astros very proud with the small ball being played right now. Just advancing on a runoff.
Are we really going to reference the
Say
23
it. Just say it.
Astros?
You don't have to get.
Was it small ball?
Yeah, we don't have
Was
to.
it really?
We don't have to get into the specifics.
Don't we?
They ended the year with a really nice run.
Don't we always
championship.
have to get into the specifics when we talk the 23 Astros? Okay.
Again, another tremendous play.
Dowell makes the play in short, and the inning comes to an end quickly for the Monarchs. We go to the bottom of the fifth, 10-0 lead. Atlanta wants all the smoke. So the umpires are going to call it 10-run mercy rule here after 5. So the Smoke respond in a big way. That incredible 4th inning was the difference in this one. Struggled to come by runs in game 1. Complete difference here in game 2. And I think we saw the championship caliber team that people expected.
Yeah, when you speak about the championship caliber team, they're the initial league champions, moving over from Texas over to Atlanta. And again, if you watch your replays of any games last year, you saw this offense come to life, and they did that here tonight in Nassau.
That'll do it here for our broadcast. The Atlanta Smoke evens up this series after a 4-3 loss in game 1. They come back to win 10-0 here. Donnie Goburn gets the shutout in a complete game performance. We'll be back here tomorrow night for game 3 of this series. Both teams looking to leave the Bahamas with the edge in this series. You have been watching 10th Year Seniors TV, the Queens of Paradise Women's Fast Pitch Softball Series here at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium.